This is my live stream, my first live stream on YouTube. Whoa, let's see. Okay. Did it start? One second. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, let's allow Google to record my screen. Oh, I have to quit and reopen. All right, let's do that. Something. I don't know why Mac does this thing with Chrome. It just closes all my tabs. All right, let's see. So I think I'm live, right? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, seems like. Yeah, hello, whoever's watching. So I'm late, 2 minutes late. Let's see. So present. Let's present the entire screen. All right, let's see how does this work. Admit. All right. Let me take this from here. Hello guys, whoever is hearing me now. We'll be waiting for a few more people to join. Yeah, I'm Lucian. I hope you are hearing me. Let's see what's here. Yeah. So here we are, but let's see. We have Alina, Colin, and Emmanuel. So I'm pretty sure at least one more person will join soon. Yeah, let's also record this meeting as a backup. So in case YouTube, in case something happens with OBS. Manage recording. No captions. With captions. The recording will be saved. Okay. Yeah, start recording. Okay. Good. Now I think, yeah, it will start to show subtitles, something like that. Okay. Good. So 1, 2, 3. Let's wait for a few more people, but yeah, so some of you I know will join from, you'll just watch the stream. Yeah, I'll try to interact with both the Google Meet and the live stream. I'm sure there's a better way to handle this, but we have to start somewhere. this is new for me. Like I haven't done this before. Like never did it. So it's kind of maybe a bit stressing, but also fun, but challenging. But yeah, so you can actually just turn your nervousness into like seeing it as a challenge, right? So hello, so someone Sandworm also joined us. So like in theory, it's the four of us. Like no, the four of you. So the five of us. Like I guess you're the one like the ones who confirmed, like triple confirmed your presence. So yeah. But let's wait a bit more, maybe 3 more minutes, and yeah, I'll just um start and make myself comfortable with the all the settings and live settings here and everything. So yeah, let's see what's here. So we have 2 concurrent viewers on the YouTube live stream. So theoretically, it's the 6. We are 6 people in total. Yeah. So this course is in English, so that we can use it for you know it will be recorded, and it will be part of the 4-week course, so everyone can see it afterwards. Yeah, let's wait for 2 more minutes. Let's see if everything's working as expected. Looks like it's all right. Oh, this thing has to be okay. It's good. Yeah. Okay, that's better now. Yeah, 1 more minute. I guess we can start. Oh, so we have 4 concurrent viewers on YouTube now. I don't know about the title. I don't know. I I have this like naming scheme where I'd like to include the course's ID in the title. I don't know if that's bad for SEO or not. Um, but yeah, Unity Game Dev complete course. Yeah, I know it's kind of a long title. Yeah, let's keep it like that for now. All right, so in theory we would start now, and in practice, let's start also. Let's see. There's a chat here. So at any time you can write something there, or I mean, if there's something that's burning, like you can just raise your hand, and you can, yeah, maybe you have something to present or talk about something. But I imagine most of you would just maybe write here, like you say, maybe you'd say something like, "Hey, your audio is crackling," or something like that, or "We cannot see your screen anymore," or something like that, right? And I'll I'll make sure to respond to the YouTube live as well if there's someone. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious about the title, the live stream's title, whether I should give it. Maybe there's someone, you know, like the YouTube algorithm recommends the video to someone who just found out about this course. So I'm pretty sure this plays a role, but maybe I can put it in parentheses, this ID. Well, no, it's all right. All right, I guess we can start now. Like, nice. Let's enter the slideshow mode. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see now. Yeah, actually, you cannot see me in the Google Meet. Yeah, so you will not be able to see me in the Google Meet, but in the live stream, you will be able to see me on YouTube live stream. I don't know how to yeah, add my. Oh, okay. Oh, you weren't seeing me this whole time. Minimize, maximize. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Good. So this is a game development course. Unity is the game engine. The game engine. Oh, someone is requesting to enter here. Hello. Yeah, nice. Yeah, as I was saying, um, I've coded in Unity for a very long time, since 2013. The reason I'm doing this course is to have it as a first course on the rockstart.ai platform, which is a platform for free courses, and it's a platform which is being built. But the course, because it's almost ready, like the first 3 weeks of it are ready, and yeah, because it's already done, so I just figured I will just start the course. I'll teach it, and I'll see how it goes. I will see if people are interested in this. I'll see like what has to change, and yeah, it's completely free. There's no gotchas, and you'll get a certificate at the end. There will be a practice test and a just multiple choice test at the end, so you'll get like a score. Yeah, like I put a lot of work on these slides, and yeah, I'll see based on your feedback if there's anything to be changed about this course, because like 10% of it is not done, so I will they are like adjustable components of this course based on your feedback. So this is just an introductory course. You don't have to have Unity installed, like not even that. Yeah. So yeah, we have 4 weeks, and each week has 5 days. And sometimes we will also do Saturdays. Depending, like if at least one person wants to, then we'll just do it. Yeah, like I said, the evolution. So I spawned in 1993. I started modding Counter-Strike 1.6 servers in 2006, when I first got access to internet. So yeah, and I've been a Unity developer since 2013. yeah. Now I'm doing software architecture, DevOps, and of course, into AI. Like I'm playing with a lot of things, and I've started this rockstart.ai platform, which is not there's no website currently where you can see these courses, but they will be structured and put there. Like, and that's why I'm also streaming on YouTube. So uh, I can help people while I'm building it. So and I also getting rich. Like probably someone is scrolling through their YouTube feed now and seeing this stream, and maybe they click it. Um, yeah. So and this platform will be ready. I don't know when, maybe in a few months. And if you will want to teach a course, or if you're interested in, for example, the next course will be on AI tools. Just stick around and stick around in Discord, and you'll yeah, you'll see it. Microphone is on mute. Oh, okay. Microphone is on mute. Oh man. At least at least it works on YouTube. But where's my microphone here? Because I don't see it. Oh man, that's it's good that you mentioned that. Video and only on YouTube. All right, that's good. Okay, let's see. You're not checked into a room. Join the call in a room first. Check in, leave and rejoin to use your audio. Is that how it works? Interesting. Why doesn't Google Meet work the way I wanted to? Well, can I do that? Like leave and rejoin to user audio. Well, that's not ideal. Leave and rejoin to user. Okay, let's try. Leave companion mode. You leave the call so you can rejoin to user camera, mic, and speakers. You'll also be checked out of your room and lose access to chat. But okay. Let's see. Well, it's not like we've lost too much. Okay, let's do this. Wait, not like this. Entire screen. Okay. And chat history. All right, so now you should be able to hear me here as well on Google Meet. Good. Well, it's not like you've missed a lot. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, at least YouTube worked. Okay. So good. This is good. By the way, where am I here? Okay. Stickers. Let's see. Okay. Good. So as I was saying, I don't know if I should go over this again, but yeah, it's basically this is me. I've done Unity development, and I've created this platform for courses. So I'm teaching the first course, which is a Unity game development course. This is a slide. I mean, this course was made so that it will be taught in the classroom, so in person. But because we didn't get enough people that want to participate in person, and I only was able to reserve like a book. I was only able to book a room like for 30 people, which was a lot. Um, so I don't know if we should go over this slide or not. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean we can. So let's start like if some if you want to introduce yourself, just type here on chat, and I will just unmute you. And yeah, I mean, if nobody wants to introduce themselves, then that's fine as well, right? This is also like an opportunity for you to uh, get more involved. Like it helps you indirectly. Yeah. So yeah, you can just write in the chat here in Google Meet if you want to introduce yourself. If not, you can just write it if you want. Like, hi, I am Jack, and I'm doing whatever. If not, you can just do it on Discord. So we have there a channel for intro. Good. So let's pretend we've introduced ourselves. So why we're here? So we're here to level up, to explore career options, to maybe gain a new hobby. And we're not here to create AAA games, with Unity at least. Um, you can force it and create like a game that you can call AAA maybe in Unity, but it's like it's not really made for that. Like it would be really forced. So I mean, not everyone agrees with me, but general idea, at least how I see it from all of my years of experience, um, Unity is for like double A games, and it appeals to indie developers a lot, and that's why a lot of indie developers use Unity. And yeah, basically like 2D games or simpler 3D games. But if you're talking like I don't know, GTA, like GTA, you might not even use like, okay, Unity is for double A games or like indie games, and Unreal Engine is you can create a lot of AAA games in Unreal Engine. I think Witcher 3 was made, but I might be mistaken. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, you can make a lot of cool games with Unreal. But the downside is it takes you a lot of time, and you cannot like have an idea with I don't know, for a tic-tac-toe game or Tetris game or whatever, and create it really fast. That's the downside. And of course, if you have a lot of experience in Unreal, you can create games really fast there as well. But Unity is like a tool that can create any kind of game that's not incredibly complex in terms of visuals and visuals, I'd say. So yeah, I initially wanted to use Unreal at my first internship, but they kind of said, well, because you are like beginners, we were a team there. They said let's just try Unity and create some things. And yeah, we've created like 3 games, and I was surprised how easy it was. Um, yeah, and like I stuck with Unity since then. New education is a a set of rules for how education should work, in my opinion. and I won't go too much into it here. I don't want to bore you. But it's basically like if you're interested, you can go to rockstart.ai or neweducation.org, and you can learn about it there. Everything there, I'm applying to this course. Yeah, so this course is free. That's why we're here, and I hope it will be fun. Uh, yeah, we make games, so we won't learn only theory. So you don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough to build stuff. That's a very central idea of this course. So not even I know everything. Like I don't. So I've been coding in Unity since 2013, and I don't know, for example, how to create a terrain. Like I have to learn it. I can learn it in a few hours because it's kind of it's easy to learn things like this. But I cannot make like a dirt. How is it called? Like an off-road game with a racing game, right? I have to learn how to create the terrain for it. So obvious things like this, like there are so many things you can learn that yeah, like you cannot know it all, and it's counterproductive to learn everything and then create. So we'll kind of learn on the go. And yeah, there are some sessions where I'm going very deep into the theory, but there are just a few ones, and they're around programming patterns, code patterns, and just design patterns for coding, because there's a lot to talk about there, and it's kind of my core area, and I couldn't help it, but I just created a lot of slides on that part. Um, yeah, but yeah, I think it's in week 2. So yeah, this is the link for the course, and I think it redirects you to the Discord server. So this is the curriculum. This is the day 1. This is day 1. So okay, yeah, we'll discuss about what you will need, diplomas, certifications, personal projects. On day 2, we will talk about version control and about the Unity itself, the interface. On day 3, we will talk about assets and game objects and components for objects. I know this might not make sense now for you, but you will see it there that moment. Basically, assets are files, like images, sounds, 3D models. Game objects are what you might expect, like objects in your game. Like an object can be a sound because it's like a noun, right? A noun, or it can be a cube, a person, or an object can even be like um, a set of rules. But yeah, I won't go into that now. Might sound confusing. And components are just features of the objects. So they are kind of yeah, features of the object. So capabilities that you add to the object. For example, if you want an object to respond to gravity, to like make it more physical, you add it a certain component. Or if you want it to emit a sound or emit light, there's a component for everything. So there's like virtually unlimited amount of components. Um, there's an unlimited number of components because you can create them as well. Um, yeah, like this day 3 is kind of the meat of Unity, and that's why I stuck a bit more with it. Yeah, and day 4 we will talk about these things. You know, lights, cameras, materials. On day 5, we will talk about scenes and how we transition to different scenes in the game. And we will do some basic animation. Like I'm not an animation expert, so we won't go too much into detail here, but there's a lot of it anyway. And day 6, which will be Saturday, it will be an open seminar. So if at least one person is interested, I will be there as well. And the hour will be like variable, so it will not necessarily be the same hour. On week 2, we will have, let's see, oops, did I do something here? Okay, all good. On week 2, we have on day 1, we will do some UI, and I hope I can fit everything into one day. Maybe we'll do. I don't know. Maybe we'll fit it in 2 hours, but there's a chance this day will take like 3 hours. There's a lot to talk about in the UI section, but I'll try to talk only about the interesting, yeah, the interesting stuff, like the stuff, things that are most useful. We'll do some physics, some sound, and particle systems like dust, fire, and stuff like that on day 2. Then on day 3, we finally get into coding. So you see, like I will go over variables, functions, classes, loops, and all of those. And yeah, project structure and how we should, like at some point you would have probably hundreds of code files, right? And you have to structure them in a way to able to browse through them and find them easily. Yeah, so this is the first day when we will go into actually understanding how we create logic in our game. And you can use visual tools. There's a lot of them like Playmaker, Bolt, I think it's called, and it's now built in Unity. And there's a lot of visual tools which are shiny and interesting, and a lot of people start playing with Unity that way. And yeah, you can look into that if you're interested. I haven't used them too much because I don't have to, because coding gives you maximum power and flexibility. But yeah, some people just really prefer to do things visually. And in my personal statistics, like almost all of them kind of are afraid of code. And that's fine. Like, I mean, if you when you're saying code, it's if you're like you want to run away, like that's fine. I cannot empathize with that because I really like coding, but I see that there's a very clear separation between people that like to code and people that don't like to code. So you'll probably know it when you see it. Yeah, on day 4 we will talk about microservices. So I think these things with asterisks are not currently done here, but I will talk about them briefly. And microservices are just functionalities that are implemented on someone else's machine, be it Google's data centers or your own server that runs somewhere. And the reason this exists is to separate functionality. So like online time provider, for example, maybe your app wants to know the exact time, the internet time, so down to the millisecond, and they just query like a Google server or a very popular server for the time. So that in case you know, there are a lot of hacks that you can do on your phone, on games and everything, where you can change your clock, and you can break a game or something like that, or you can get access to some things that are not, you shouldn't have access to. But for example, if you use an online time provider in your game and you base your logic off of that, then your players cannot cheat, right? And there's then authentication services, like sign in with Google and all of that things, all of those things. These are like microservices. I classify them as microservices because it's easier to talk about them like that. Yeah. On day 5, we will talk about the general workflow in a project, how it starts, and how a project evolves through various project sizes. So if it's a small project, there's a different process. If it's a big project or medium project, a different process, and so on. And we will be building for various platforms. Yeah, depending on the time, we will do like Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS. So we will be building, I think, a Tetris game or something like that. And by building, I mean just compiling an existing project. So you can, just try it on your device. One note here is, from a Mac, you can build for every platform, if I remember correctly. But from a Windows or Linux machine, you can build for everything except for Mac and iOS. That's like, it's a limitation from Apple. They want you to use their devices, to build for their devices. So yeah. And again, day 6 can be an open seminar. I can go a bit faster through this. Maybe I don't know how many of you are interested in this, but let's see. Week 3, we will go and publish a build, and this will vary depending on our time, available time. Like we will use GitHub for WebGL, where you can put your game there, and it's free, and you can type like jack.github.io/your project name, and you can already play it, and it's free. I hope they keep it like that. Yeah, then we'll probably talk about Steam for a bit, then Google Play for Android, and just the App Store for iOS. On day 2, from week 3, we will talk about your profile and how you can make an image for yourself as a game developer. And I think this summary, this curriculum here is a bit outdated. Maybe it's not day 2, maybe it's day 5 or something like that. But yeah, we'll talk about basically how do you build your history and resume, and just enter like communities to talk to other people, and like Unity is probably 90% of its value comes from its community. So Unity has a very large community, and you will find people that have like a very broad spectrum of experience levels. Like you'll get from absolute beginners to absolute experts, and everything in the middle, and anything between. And yeah, so we will talk about this. On day 3, we will talk about working as like different paths for your career. Like if you just want to make money from out of this. Yeah, as a freelancer, as an indie, meaning you work on your own projects. And this is kind of the hardest part, like the hardest path, because you risk a lot. working on something and you know, working for half a year on something, and maybe it's not something that can take off. The upside of this is um, you should post updates, and you should be very active on socials, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and I don't know, Instagram, I guess. Yeah, and I know a lot of people kind of hate socials, and me included, but it that if posting on socials brings you closer to what you want, then that's a no-brainer. You have to do it. Yeah, and it's a very interesting life hack to post your progress. Like post, you can post and maybe even record yourself or stream or whatever. You can really post like from the very first moment you open Unity and just write down ideas or something like that, or you can do like literally anything, and you don't know who might see your stream, right? Um, yeah, and a lot of game developers start that way, and yeah, that's how they start. And basically, the people, those who watch their streams, are those who will also be the first ones to buy the game, like the early adopters, and they might even have an early access on Steam or other platforms, right? And because they when somebody looks at your game when you're building it, they are, yeah, kind of more invested than someone who sees your game for the first time. Yeah, and that's a very interesting hack. Um, yeah, on week 3. Okay, I think I know what I've done here. I inversed week 3 with week 4, but yeah, let's. Should I do this? Day 1, day. 1 second. Let me see. Oh, no, no. It's actually this is the order. This is the order. No, not this. Well, anyway, these are the days. Um, yeah, there will be a skill assessment exam and a very simple interview simulation. Um, these are just to help you, so you don't have to think about this like classic exams or tests or homework, or at least for me, these have a negative emotion associated with them. Um, yeah, I will try to stay away from anything resembling like classical uh flavors of exams, homeworks, or other things. So the purpose here is to learn, and it's not to like get a good grade or anything like that. Um, yeah, so practical project assignments, we will be probably uh, two of them. We will choose two of them. I saw many of you chose to implement a first-person shooter and a racing game. So there are like 7 or 8 options, and the first-person shooter and racing game were the most popular. But yeah, we will talk about that. I will see like how is how is this going, and like I have already created a Tetris game where I will be just going over it from start to the end, and you will be riding along with me, and hopefully you will get like some very practical hands-on experience. Um, and yeah, for the project assignment, which will be graded as well. I guess I'll do a poll again. So I'll give you like maybe 10 options, and I'll see, or maybe 3 options to make it simpler, to not have decision fatigue. Um, yeah, and whatever you will choose, we will have those projects. Um, yeah, on day 5, we will talk about coming to an existing project and how to integrate yourself in a project, and how various companies have very different approaches and conventions and processes, and a lot of the time you're not even learning Unity, you're learning some processes, some internal processes there. And you've kind of get used to learning new things, a lot of new things, very different things, in every new company, each new company you join. We'll be talking about like ignoring noise, meaning like only focusing on what matters and not getting stuck into details and perfectionism. Then like I said, company convention, school versus reality. Day 6 again, open seminar. Okay, on day 1 of week 4, we'll talk about finite state machines, which are, we'll see it at that time. Like it's I don't want to bore you right now or scare you or something like that. There are basically ways to organize logic. And we'll talk about a few third-party plugins, for example, Cinemachine, I think it's pronounced. It's a plugin through which you can create very realistic like camera shakes, or where a camera follows the player. So when I started, I had to create this by hand, and I was ashamed to see this thing being implemented. I think it has at least 5 years, this thing, and I discovered it only like 2 years ago or something like that. It's a very interesting asset. We'll go and do some debugging. So when we write our code, we have a lot of lines of code, and debugging, at least code debugging, with when you attach the debugger, means you go line by line and execute each line, and you can stop and inspect all the variables, everything. Like you have maybe player's health, and it displays as 30, but you know it should be 50. And you go line by line and see, okay, how does it arrive to 50? Why isn't it 30, right? And you just press a button, go next line, press a button, go next line, and the game is completely frozen at that point, and you have like complete control. And you can even change things from debugging. It's pretty interesting. In day 2, 3, and 4 will be workshop days. What does this mean is you will be working on your project, and I will be just hanging around. I'll be with you there to work on your projects, right? And as I said, this course is thought to be taught in a class, like in real person, in real life. I want to say, and basically, if I was there, like physically, it's another thing, right? It's much more useful, but we'll try to simulate that just remotely, because you will just, I guess, either DM me, or no, you'll just post directly there on Discord, right? On the dedicated channel for this course. And you'll just post there, you'll just ask me things. We'll be in a similar meet. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and on day 5, we'll do project grading. So we'll be rating each other's projects, and of course, like you will be rating projects between yourselves, just some to get feedback from others and so on, and of course you'll get one from me separately. So, and basically I will also give you the grade. um yeah, you'll give me some feedback on the course. We'll do, well, group photo is something that is not possible in real life now, but hopefully you will be able to share your camera at that point, and just you can make we can make a photo. And yeah, certificates or diplomas, it's a flexible terminology. um what does that mean is you will get a PDF, basically a PDF, where you have your name there, your photo if you want, and this will be basically, you will prove that you participated in the course, and if you passed the course, and this things, it's still flexible. I will think about it whether I will write, or whether there will be a thing such as passing or not passing. But everyone will receive one. But what's sure is the grade you receive on the exam and on the project, your practice project, not practice project, yeah, the exam and the project that you will be creating. Those grades will be there on the diploma, and I will be signing that PDF electronically, just electronical signature. And that would represent the fact that I attest to you um, uh, basically taking this course, right? So and if the grades are displayed, for example, like 7 out of 10 for the exam and 8 out of 10 for the project, they will be there. So yeah, you can basically use that. And generally, diplomas and certificates are um, no diploma or certificate has like intrinsic value or recognition. It's only directly proportional to like how big the institution that issues them is, right? So, and um you can basically say that all the diplomas are worthless, or all of the diplomas are uh worth something. So it really depends on your how do you want to see it, right? um in my opinion, this course will be pretty useful. And if you'll be able to create a project at the end that's working, like that's uh, that's physical proof that you know basically you've learned how to basically I've made my job, and the course works, and thus the diploma also has value, right? And in time, I expect the diploma to be uh you know increasingly valuable. Well, you will not be able to just sell it or something, right? It's not like an investment. But yeah, it will get more and more valuable in the sense that newcomers, like um upcoming instances of this course, will get even more valuable, because people will see that you're learning things, you can do things, and yeah, it's something that um, yeah, it's something nice. Good. Day 6, open seminar. Yeah, and we'll talk about how you can teach as well. Um, so let's see. We are like almost an hour in. I hope I haven't overwhelmed you too much. Um, I'll try to go maybe a bit faster. I don't remember how many slides do you have left, but yeah. What makes a good game developer? You can just think about it. If you want, you can write here in chat. What do you think makes a good game developer? You can write like 2 words or 1 word or I don't know, something like that. So, of course, there are a lot of possible answers to this. Yeah. So, what makes a good game developer? Knowing how to Google. I don't know if this was expected or not. uh, this is a very like it's a half a joke and half a truth. So, like a way to think about this: know how to debug better than code. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Like debugging is like very specific and individual skill in the sense that you can be a very good coder, but maybe you're not like very good at debugging. But I mean, overall, you're kind of getting good at everything at once. But yeah, like the debugging will save you a lot of time. And even I sometimes just forget to just attach the debugger and go line by line. Yes, that's the right answer. Know what questions to ask ChatGPT. You see, I knew it. So knowing how to Google. So 10 years ago, this slide would be like knowing how to Google, but now it's knowing how to LLM. Yeah. And just a few days ago, Claude.ai, uh, I got, I think they have their Sone 3.5 model. I think they beat even GPT-4. Or I haven't, I just watched this on YouTube video. I haven't really tested it. But yeah, I'm really excited about how things evolve. And by the way, this course, um, there's not enough information in the slides about how to interact with LLMs and all of that. But I will be talking about it a lot in the sense that this course is aware of all of the tools that are available to us. Um, yeah, like image generation tools and LLMs. But most of the time, like if you want like to get 80% of the results with 20% of effort, you just have to know about ChatGPT and Midjourney. So if you want to create a beautiful loading screen for your game, you go to Midjourney, create a background, and um, the thing with AI generated content, if I remember correctly, since it was trained on public data, means that you cannot own anything that you generate, and that's more true um, for visual things, right? And it kind of makes sense, right? Because it was trained on public data. Then what you generate, yes, there's some intellectual property there because you thought about the prompt and you were creative and all that. And I think you cannot, but yeah, still you cannot own it. Um, that was the last that was the state of things the last time I checked. But yeah, there might be like some websites that trained on private data, and you might have full ownership of the generated content. I don't know. Yeah, so knowing how to Google or LLM, that makes you a good everything. Yeah, so if you can learn programming and building games, for example, in our case, you'll probably be able to learn like anything, because it's a constant learning process. And I don't know, I really like to learn things constantly. And yeah, people who love to learn things constantly thrive as developers, because you're forced to learn new things constantly and forget old things fast. So yeah. Anything else? I think this was, yeah, this was a slide um again for the in-person course. And like if you had any questions, I don't know if this is, oh yeah, anything else? Yeah, no, it wasn't it was like anything else. So knowing how to Google and what else, right? Yeah, and like if you know anything else, you can write here, but let's go over it faster. A good game dev also is organized, and like just generally we don't go too much into this, and asks if before how. So you ask if you should do a certain feature or mechanism in your game before you ask how you can do it. And yeah, there's a tendency to do things that feel good, because you say, man, I love that particle systems, that all of those bubbles that are whatever interacting there. I want to do that. I will watch a tutorial on YouTube to do that. Um, and at the beginning, when you're just learning, you kind of want not only to do that, but you're saying maybe, okay, I might not need that, but I'm doing it to learn, right? And yeah, that's I've done a lot of things this way, and like I know this from personal experience, that I have this tendency to ask how before if. And yeah, you should really like think about this like generally. The ask if before how. So when you want to create something or implement something, just think about the opportunity cost. Is there anything that's better that I can do, right? um Read code design patterns. So there's a tendency in game development, and that's why game developers are generally paid less. But it's not about the game development as a domain. It's about the fact that it's a bit easier to get started, or at least it's easier to stay motivated as a game developer, because I mean, especially if you like games, I suppose most of the game developers like games. It's a bit playful, like children learn through play, right? So that's why it's kind of it's easier to get in, and there's a lot of good enough developers who just take a smaller pay to just do some repetitive stuff, or I don't know, something that's pretty easily done, right? Um, but I mean, if you're a good developer, like there's no difference between being like a good game developer and being a good, I don't know, a backend developer for a banking app, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe there's like a 5% increase uh, for the banking app or something like that, because banking apps probably make more money, but that's like another story. Um, yeah, reads and code design patterns are like ways in which you should program, basically. They are things that people discovered along the time, and they just work generally, and they are like helmets. That's a good analogy. They're like helmets. Like imagine you have like 100 heads and you need 100 helmets, right? Something like that. And yeah, a good game developer also doesn't reinvent wheels. So there's the asset store. Like I said, Unity has a big community, and there's a lot of third-party assets. Like not third-party. Yeah, I can see you can call them that way. For example, a chat. Like if you want to chat, a chat bubble or a chat square or somewhere in your game. Um, there are a lot of third-party integrations, in the sense that you go to assetstore.com, if I remember correctly, and there's a lot of them for everything, like, and they are very cheap. Um, yeah, and you don't have to reinvent everything. Um, you just focus on your game, on your what makes your game unique from others, and most people just reuse assets. They just buy assets. Like they buy an asset that gives them a chat box in the game, or gives them um, the functionality to display Unity ads, or ads in general, Facebook ads maybe, I don't know. There's also like it's built in Unity ads now, but there's a lot of things where you don't have to write it yourself, right? Um, yeah, for this course you should be at least 16 years old, but I mean, if you think you can handle it, then you can be even younger. You have to have basic knowledge about any programming language, and like I said, we'll go over the basics, but you should know about variables a bit, or something like that, like functions, loops, and we'll go over them as well. You have to have some love for maths, or at least to not hate it. um, I mean, yeah, if you don't like maths, maybe you'll start to love it in some places when we'll code it. Actually, the maths for programming it's pretty simple. Yeah, it's pretty simple. In most places, just basic. You need a GitHub account, which is free. You can just Google it now, and just you can create or just keep a tab open somewhere. You need a Unity account, which is free, and a Microsoft account. I don't remember why you need it, but yeah, Microsoft account. Just create it, and yeah, if you Google create Microsoft account, you'll see how it works. I don't remember why. Maybe for Visual Studio, but you don't really need it. Yeah, we'll see about that. You need Windows 10 or later, or Mac High Sierra or later. You need this very version of Unity, which is free, and you will install it via the Unity Hub. For example, you will install Unity Hub. You can just Google these things, and you will see how it's done, right? Google, yeah, you can Google it. And Unity Hub, I don't know, can you see it? Oh, because I'm presenting, you cannot see it here. Let's see if I. This is Unity Hub. Yeah, this is Unity Hub, and you will be able to install new Unity versions. So basically Unity Hub is um it's like game launchers from, I don't know, Ubisoft or other companies where you have like a launcher and then you have more games from that company or something like that, right? And that's Unity Hub. You have a program which that manages Unity installs, because you can have various installs, and you will go to the archive because they are not available here. It's usually a good practice to keep like a few versions back. Like if we are in 2024, it's like a good idea to have like 2022. Like it's battle tested. It has more maturity, more bug fixes, right? And yeah, they call it Unity 6 now. I don't know why they wanted it to do it like that, but anyway. Um, yeah, you'll go to the archive and you will download. Well, let's see. Which version do I have? Did I just install the latest one? 0.3.21. And I'll go here, 2022.3.21, right? This is 21, install. And it's already installed here. Yeah, so if you're on a Mac and you have this on M1, you will install the M1. If you have Intel, you'll install the Intel one. If you're on Windows, it's the same. And you will pick these things here. You will install, basically it will ask you, right? It will ask you to check these things. Visual Studio for Mac, and you will also check Android builds, this thing, iOS. I mean, the minimal is to just use to check this Windows if you're on Windows, or Mac if you're on Mac. Where's this one, right? Or Linux if you're on Linux, so that you can build a game and play it right away on your laptop, right? Um, Good. Yeah, and about Visual Studio, um, yeah, the thing is, what I discovered is if you install it through here, like if you check it here, it will install the version 2019. So if you basically, if you can remember to do this, fine. If not, then fine as well. To uncheck it here, and you will install it, or everything else, like you'll install it, right? It'll complete, and then you go and just Google install Visual Studio 2022. Right, and you'll find it here somewhere in this community, Visual Studio community, right? Not code. So there's another tool called Visual Studio Code, which is very awesome, but this one like is more powerful, and if I remember correctly, um they want to remove, or at least not support it that well in the future, the Visual Studio Code for Unity, but I might be wrong. What I know for sure is Visual Studio, the original one, not Visual Studio Code, is like battle tested. It's very powerful. You can do a lot of things with it. And yeah, we will just install it here. And there's, I think, some yeah, you have to check some things there. Yeah, I actually should have. Maybe I should uninstall. Maybe I should uninstall it and install it again now. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, basically you have to check game development, I think, or something like that. Oh, not XE, Mac. Oh, this is for Windows. Visual Studio for Mac retiring August. Oh, so Visual Studio for Mac will not work. Oh, it was the other way around. Okay. Well, for this course, we will still be using this one. But yeah, you can just, I cannot go into this course into Visual Studio Code, but you know, you'll find a video on YouTube and see how you can use Visual Studio Code with Unity. Yeah, so for Mac, okay. So maybe just on Mac this happens, okay. Yeah, you will install this thing after install Unity, and don't worry about it. We will be using it much later. You will be needing a SmartGit. SmartGit is a visual interface for versioning your code. It's like checkpoints, like when you play a game and you have quick saves, right? And you can then load any of your previous saves, right? You can go back in time. Git is something like that. Okay. You need like 50 gigs of SSD. Maybe you can get less, like maybe you can get away with 20 gigs. And you need at least 8 gigs of RAM. I wouldn't like even consider like having less than that. Maybe you can, you know, have like 6, but that's the minimum. And yeah, you need like consistency. So motivation is like temp stamina boost. So it's something that goes up and down. But if you want like to stay on track, you need discipline, right? You need like consistency, and it's consistency is like a perma XP potion. So you drink it once and you have it your whole life. It's you know, you can get, we can get philosophical about it, but try to not rely on motivation. Like don't say like I want to get motivated to work on this, because it's not a long-term solution. You just have to create processes and frameworks for uh, you know, habits, and just have try to be very logical about it. Like, what do I want to do next? What do I want to do next week? What do I want to do next month, year? Like, um, and those things, like you'll get a clearer path this way. Yeah, that's the requirement. This is the minimum requirement. And the recommended requirement, let's see, what's this? Go over the basics. Yeah, basically this is the tutorial. Get started in Unity Editor. I know it's kind of funny because this is a course, and I'm sending you here. But if you want to get like the best of this course, just go to this link and oops, not like that. Okay, let's see where we are. Just go to this link and I will post it here. I mean, you can do this. You should do this after the stream. And we also have some like the next day. Yeah, the next day we have the Unity interface brief and all of that, like 60% or so from this, from the content on this link. We already have them. We already have it on this course, but you know, it doesn't hurt to know this as well. So this is like extra reading, right? Yeah, exactly what I said. Yeah, basically I kind of went over this already. Um, there will be some scores, grades, and all of that. You will receive most co-op player, but this was more relevant for the in-person course where you would because you helped other people. But no, actually, because we have the Discord channel, so feel free to write there in Discord everything you want, anything you want to ask about, or maybe you want help, or maybe you can help someone with something. So just get communicative, just get involved. Like I thought I spoke to all of you on meets. We had like 10 minutes video call, and like each and every one of you is like very very nice person, and like there's no one to be like scared of, right? Just make sure to ask whatever you need there. Um, yeah, you will get the certification, like I've already mentioned. And what I haven't mentioned is you'll get a permalink, which you can add to LinkedIn. So you will be, yeah, you will be, sorry, so there's something that I just watched my stream and yeah, well, no, something distracted me. Yeah, you'll get a permalink, and yeah, basically you can use it similar to how you can use the Coursera certificates, which is very cool. Um, yes, so Unity has its own like official certificate, um, and yeah, you can go to this link or you can Google it. And basically there are multiple levels, if I remember correctly. There are like multiple paths for designers, for people that want to do more coding than design, and there are like 3 or 4 levels. um I mean, if you think about the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle, the from my I mean, in my opinion, the best use of your time would be to create something. And I think this is true for every domain. Like, create something. Just show people that you've already done, right? Show people what you have already done. Uh, yeah, I want to say show people that you have already done what they are looking for, right? If we are talking about like being a freelancer, right? A game developer, um, or working at a company, and maybe you couldn't afford college or going to the good university, right? But if you have a good portfolio, that like it's obvious that you can do those things, right? And I hope, like, I know, like, the best companies in the world, like they don't really care that much about diplomas and all of those things. um I mean, this kind of sounds controversial, right? But um like, I really think most of the good companies, and if they still care about diplomas and these things, like, I think they shouldn't. They should start to not care that much about them. um yeah. And yeah, those are the certifications. And Oh yeah, what's a GDD? A GDD is a game design document, and what this document is like the blueprint for a game in a way. So does how is a game born, right? I mean, the first event that happens is an idea in your head or written somewhere, right? So there comes the idea, and then the next step, at least like in the professional world, is to write a game design document. And it kind of makes sense because you write everything on a piece of paper and then you have it there written, and that's your game. And the implementation, whether it's on Unity or in Unreal or in, I don't know, there are a lot of game engines that are proprietary, and or there's also Godot, which is now a very um, they took advantage of some things that weren't going well with Unity years ago, like last year, if I remember correctly. But not with the Unity game engine, but it's like about some fee structures. But yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, as a newcomer, if you watch a few YouTube videos about Unity versus Godot, um, you might say, "Whoa, I want to use Godot because there are these fees for Unity, and you know it's kind of I don't want to pay a lot of money if I don't make a lot of money." But last time I checked, like they've relaxed those things. They like the community got really outraged about the few some those fees, and they fixed most of it. And I mean, last time I read about it, so if you're thinking about those things, like it means you already have like 100,000 players or something like that, or installs. Um, and it's not like you are losing money. So I mean, they are kind of taking a share from your income. So it's not like, I mean, they are providing this great tool for free, and I mean, you can create a game for free. Like you can create a very complex and awesome game for free if you want, if you really want it. So I mean, it kind of makes sense to pay them at some point, right? Um, yeah, and at least um, Godot versus Unity. Um, I mean, Unity is much more mature. Like mm, incredibly more mature, right? Um, I think Godot will catch up. So there will be some competition, and there will be, I think, healthy competition, because Unity will also get they will they will have no choice but to um improve and focus more on maybe fixing a few issues with their engine, instead of focusing on a lot of new functionality, like, you know, because they are like shiny new things, and people just are attracted to that. But yeah, I mean, I didn't intend to go so in depth, but it's important to know that at least in my opinion, the big players are still Unreal for more realistic games, and especially first-person shooters. And Unity for like every game imaginable. That's like indie or double A game. Um, yeah. And Godot is something that I don't know anything about. Like I haven't used it. If you have a lot of free time, like feel free to use it. Just and let us know in Discord how is it going. But I mean, if you don't know any of them, neither of Unity nor the Godot, just stick with Unity here because yeah, it's just a free course. You'll learn a lot of things, a lot of nice things. Um, yeah, and it's just good to focus on just one thing. Yeah, basically what I just said. The game's vision, that's what the game design document is. Mechanics, story, characters, design elements. It's also a roadmap, and the roadmap means in what order, like the things that you will do and implement in chronological order. Like you say, first I'll create the schematics for the game that has maybe 3 scenes. I don't know. Then I'll create the first scene, then I'll add sound, and right. And the game design document is also something that helps the team be aligned with each other. So you will not. Uh, I mean, of course, when you're working on a complex project, or like you're not working on making a chair, right? You're working on something that has many moving parts and fixed parts and a lot of you know components. You have to have uh, a document, right? Like a source of truth, like what's what everyone agrees on, right? And when something is implemented, it's not implemented right. um you basically just go onto that document and say, man, look how we agreed on, we should do it that way. Or maybe you can also change the game design document if something really goes wrong and you didn't predict some things. And but generally it's like a book in a way that you go and look at what needs to be done next. um Yeah, and Invaders GDD is a document that I've created. Uh, yeah, this is an example of a game design document, and I will send it here. And you can take a look at it. You can take a look at it now or later. Um, or actually, I mean, I can go over it. Yeah, some links don't work because they are just internal for me. Um, Chicken invaders, I want to say here. Chicken. Yeah, probably. Yeah, so basically there's an overview, there's a story, a technical, like what platforms do you want to release on. You want PC, Mac, WebGL, meaning like you write an address in your browser and you play the game directly. iOS, Android. Uh, the user interface, like how will they be laid out on the screen, depending on if it's mobile, desktop, and just general things here like transitions. There's not a rule. Like I think a lot of people will say there's a rule, your game design document should be this long and whatever. There's no rule. Like it's a plan. It's a plan for a game, right? And you write here everything you have in your mind as detailed as possible. Or I mean, not necessarily as detailed as possible, but for example here, when you talk about the mechanics, it really helps to be as detailed as possible because I mean, it really helps to see everything in one place, right? You, for example, You have entities. You have the player. You have the projectiles, like whatever damages the player. You have an egg, and these are like 3 variations of the egg, and like one they have infinite HP. They have some effects, some like enemies, like a duck, overgrown duck, giant duck, overgrown green mutant duck, dark egg, overgrown dark duck. Yeah. Projectile type, progression. Yeah, and this is like the story, right? You have level 1, you have waves, level 2, level 3, and your mission at some point in the project is to create like a system where you can create you just code once the system for the levels, and then when you want to create a second level, you just press a button somewhere, and you just have like checkboxes and um, text boxes and sliders where you can adjust the HP and damage and maybe some effects for various entities, right? It's not like you will write the same amount of code for level 2 as for level 1, and then again you just copy and paste code, and you will have like a system for levels. But this is like a detail. Yeah, graphics, sounds, monetization, if you want to go like that far and think about that far in the future, like how you will monetize the game and all of that. So, but this is a game design document. Like I tried to create it as simple as possible, but also go as close as possible to a real game design document in the real company, or at least the version 1 for it. And yeah, this is it. But I think the game design documents for our course like will be maybe 2 pages or something like that. Yeah, good. This is the game design document. Yeah, this is a list. Let's see it. Because so there will be a personal project, and I guess it helps to choose one now or soon, so that you will be you will like, if you know what project you want to make, you will be more motivated to learn things while I'm teaching them, because you will say like, oh, I know I will need that in my project, right? And it immediately registers, and it sticks in your memory, right? Because that's one of the pillars of new education as well, right? The manifesto that I've created for education, where you have to know what you want to build before you start learning about it. And that's like the laziest way, in a way, to learn something, because you don't have to struggle learning. You don't have to force yourself to remember something, because when you know that it will be useful for something that you care about, it automatically sticks in your memory, right? Yeah, so this is a thing that you will have to try to do, like to choose a personal project and turn it into a game design document, like, yeah, based on the template, but much simpler. You can go much complex, but you might not have enough time to create it, right? Yeah, and you will have to implement it by the end of the course. And if you remember from the like curriculum slides, there will be like 3 days at the end where we will only do this, and we will also be able to go over those 3 days. We'll see. And also on the Saturdays, um, we will basically either catch up from the uh, that week's courses. Maybe we are behind, or I'm behind, or maybe we are not behind, but you want to work on your project while I'm available, like in an instant. And that's also like a good time to work on your project as well. But you can also work on it like continuously, full time if you want. So you choose like how complex it should be, but as a general rule, I think just imagine how complex do you want the project to be, and just cut it in half and just use that. Because programmers in general, and in programming in general, like no matter how much seniority you have, what seniority you have, like it's really hard to estimate things. Like you cannot. Basically, the hardest thing in programming is to estimate, like estimate how much it will take to do something. And that's why you have to just cut in half. Like if you want to have like 3 enemy types, create 1 enemy type. You cannot create 1.5, right? Create 1 enemy type, any enemy type, and like round it down. That's like, I know like it sounds like a random advice, but I think it's the most important advice for, I don't know, or one of the most important advices for like a programmer's career or a game developer's career. Like try to build like half of what you want to build, because the other half will come naturally, but you will at least have something to show to people. Yeah, and this will count as 50% of your final grade. Let's see. Oh, someone's already there. Oh, okay, yeah, because I shared it. Right? Did I share it? Oh no. Oh, someone did just copy, like someone did like optical recognition and copied the link. Uh yeah, let me also. That's nice, man. Nice, nice. Well, I'm I'm pasting it here. So Colin wrote it by hand. Yeah, so let's see. Here are a lot of project ideas, and I know a lot of you chose I will show you right now what games would they like to create. Let's see. One moment. These are the responses. I will yeah, I will post the responses. I will just try to remove any identifying information. I will post it in on Discord, your responses. Yeah, these are the kind of games that you respond. You want to create like 3D racing, 3D shooter, like I said. And this one is 2D Angry Birds, 2D platformer, space shooter. Yeah, chess. Um, like I have a feeling like the intersection of the easiest, like the most instructive, and the most fun would be, I think, a 2D racing, right, as a first choice. And then the other ones, maybe a space shooter. Or I don't know, maybe chess, but no. I mean, chess, it's not that easy to do, but it's kind of, yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about this, but I'm pretty sure 2D racing would be. Oh, it's interesting. I can select it. Yeah, 2D racing and one more, I think. But yeah, we'll vote on this. So this is a game that I've played when I was younger. This is another one. I won't be. Yeah, I won't be. Maybe you remember this game. It's so fun. Yeah, Bomberman. There's you know, this game with tanks, tower defense, Arcanoid. I kind of I started with the ones that would be the most fun for me, but also pretty easy to implement. You know this game, maybe you know it, right? You have to break this. Um, maybe it was called some other way, right? I had the I don't remember. 2D racing where it's like kind of this where you see the whole map, and the other one is like this, right? Where you only see where you're going. Um, Platformers, I think we won't be able to create, or you won't be able to create it in time for this course, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know, because I mean, if you place these things by hand and you create a level and you, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could create a level with for a game. Like, yeah, actually, maybe the platformer would be like the second choice. Um, Puzzle adventure. Maybe you remember this game. You see this thing like, oh man, this was so interesting. Yeah, you have to get the keys, open doors, all that. Yeah, this thing, pool really, I mean, it's actually pretty easy to implement a pool game in Unity because the physics engine does all of those things, like even the spinning and everything. Like you just have to apply a force, and I mean, yeah, there's of course there's a lot of things that are unknowns, but maybe pool would be like the third choice. Snake. I mean, you know, Snake. I don't have. Yeah, well, this is another kind of, you know, yeah, Antarctic adventure. This is a guy, and you're jumping over, um, you know, over gaps and all that. Pinball, if you want to create a pinball game. 3D tank battle. Actually, yeah, we might create a 3D tank battle as well. Well, I mean, not we, but you. So it will be like fourth choice. Right. So we're looking at
combinată cu eficacitate. Noul Borotalco Pure îmbrățișează viața.
Yeah, like a game with tanks, maybe. Right? I mean, now that I'm looking at it, like, this one is easy as well. This one that you can click together. It's just like I can give you like a hint to, you can if you get stuck with, right, some points. motocross. Maybe you remember this one. And also the physics engine does all the job there. Yeah, you have to intervene at some points because it's very chaotical and you have to like code some things by hand. Fighting game, you can create a fighting game, right? But I think we won't be making character animation too much because it's not my uh it's not my area. So I cannot teach it. This thing, magic jewelry or whatever it's called, the original game, right? Um, this one is, I think, it's the easiest one to create. Yeah, poker if you want poker, and for poker, like you have to basically get really good at coding because there's a lot of logic there, right? You have 52 cards, if I remember correctly, and you have a lot of logic levels, like not levels, but steps, states, and all of that. Like you'll have to use finite state machines a lot, like FSMs. Yeah. Um, I mean, there's something with words, like words, unknown words, kind of scare me sometimes, and I think this happens to a lot of people. And just try to not get scared about words. Like when I said finite state machines, the concepts, like in 99% of cases, are much simpler than the words or the concepts. Once you hear about the definition of a word, you kind of are not scared that much about the word anymore. Maybe that doesn't make sense now, but you'll see what I mean. Like a lot of things are pretty simple, but you might get stuck in just processing the word that describes the thing because you didn't hear about that word before, right? But just try to escape that feeling of getting stuck about oh man, what was that word? He said some word and oh, it's just I haven't heard about that word before, so it will be hard, right? Just escape, try to escape that feeling. Um, Sniper shooter. Ah, okay, yeah. This is pretty interesting because you're just staying at the same place and you're not moving, if I remember correctly, right? And you just have to in the game, right? Yeah, it's pretty interesting, this one as well, and it's 3D, and maybe this one will take the place of the 3D shooter because it comes so close to a complete 3D first-person shooter, but also it's simple enough for us to afford to implement it in the course, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Just now I thought about this. Maybe this one will be the 3D shooter option. Sneaking game. Don't remember which this one not available anymore, so I don't remember what it was. Well, real-time strategy. I don't think we'll have any time for this one. Like, I mean, you can create a very simplistic one. It's just when you learn to program, you just need a little bit of creativity, and you can just be creative with the way you write the code. Or yeah, and you can basically create any game because the logic of the game is in code. Like everything happens in the code, everything. And on the screen, what you display to the player, to the user, is just a manifestation of the logic that comes from the code. And that's, we'll talk about that a lot. It's like this separation between the world, between the universe and the visual representation of the universe. And the sooner you separate the two in your head, the easier and the faster you will be able to implement complex things. You don't have to like say that you're shooting a box that's visible. You have to think about it that you're shooting a box that's in a mathematical space somewhere. Like you know the position of the box, you know how big the box is. And I mean, you might not even need to know those, because Unity has this a lot of utilities where you just have to have those objects, a reference to them. And don't worry if you don't know what that means, but just have a reference to them. It's like holding them in your hand, and you just have a helper functions that help you see whether the bullet will hit the player or not, right? Just try to not think so much about it now. But yeah, we'll talk about this later, like separating the view from the logic. So, and the beauty of that is that if your whole game can play and can run without any visuals, then you've like achieved in a way like perfection. Although I said like we don't have to be perfectionists. But the good thing about that is that you can get that code and put it on a server, for example, if you have like a multiplayer game that's online. And then the server doesn't have any visual representation of the game, of your game, right? It only has all of the rules, all of the events, logic, mechanics, everything, right? And um, you don't depend on the visuals, on the UI, or like your designer, or your like there are a lot of roles in Unity as well. Like you can have like a level designer, 3D, 2D artist. You have a game designer, which a game designer just thinks about how the game should be, right? And all of those things. So they should be like your level designer or UI designer should be free to place the buttons wherever he wants or she wants. And like basically the visuals should be pretty much flexible. Like you should be able to uh at least partly like change them at any time, and your code should not break. Like your game should not break when you change something. Like maybe you swap the model on your enemy, like it's not a dinosaur, it's like, I don't know, Godzilla or something, right? And your game should still run, right? Because you're just changing a visual aspect of the game. You're not changing your logic, right? Your code. Well, yeah, that's some glimpse into the future when we'll talk about that. Yeah, and there's also worms. I liked worms. I liked it even now, but yeah, I haven't played it for a long time. Um, yeah, and those are the possible projects, and I'm open like to other projects as well. But yeah, it will be a good thing if you can pick one from here and create a game design document for it. Like create one like this, uh make it how many pages long you want, 2 pages, 1 page, half a page. But yeah, just have a game design document. Try to have at least 1 page, like 1 page, because there's like sounds, and sounds are very easy to add. Just it's a shame not to add sounds to a game. Yeah, just use this as a template, and yeah, the sooner the better if you create it. And that's it. This is the first introductory course and session, and we are like exactly on the like 2013. Like we're like 8:30, not 13, 30, 8:30. So kind of exactly like 2 hours. Although we started like 3 minutes late, I think. Yeah, this is it. So I'm really curious. What do you think about the course? How do you feel about it? What if there's anything you'd like to be changed about the way I'm carrying this? So just let me know. And yeah, nice, thanks. Um, yeah, this is it. I mean, I'm bad at goodbyes, so just write in Discord whatever you'd like to ask or suggest or just mention. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, have a nice evening or morning or whatever. See you.
Have a nice evening. Bye.
Bye.